Hello and welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Today we're gonna finish because we're gonna do the last character of Daughter of Serpents, the last one of the major ones. Otherwise, the others are more or less repeats. So with 6 jobs, only 3 are unique. The other 3 are variations in Daughter of Serpents. That is job system that's not utilized well at all. But yeah, we'll see how much it takes. They told me this is the most interesting character. And the manual also basically has a story about the Egyptologist, so probably the longest playthrough. I'm interested. It was Grace Jones. Diana Jones. Egyptologist, that one. So, Miss Diana Jones, Egyptologist, age 26. You have a strong sense of adventure. You're educated at university, are unshakably determined, look for rational explanations, are conscious of strange forces around you, and can apply a powerful intellect to practical ends. You have traveled in the Middle East, are a qualified Egyptologist, and have a detailed knowledge of Egyptian mythology. You can translate a wide variety of hieroglyphic texts and inscriptions, know about the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt in some detail, and can handle and translate a variety of papyrus manuscripts. You have a sound grounding in Egyptian archaeology. So, the other characters, a lot of things, they don't have anything to say. This should be interesting. A bit of traveler. Can slightly speak Arabic. I wonder if that will come in handy. An Egyptologist, a little versed in every single one. From a little to medium to great. In every single one of these ends. So, this sounds like the most interesting character for this. And the manual thinks so too, the developers also thought that. But yeah, they have this job system in this game, but they don't come in handy for puzzles or anything, just text and where do you need to go. It's a game with immense potential, but none of what I would have liked from seeing this and these screens would I think absolutely nothing. But yeah, sorry for being 10 minutes late, but today was I told you, if it wasn't today, it was tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be the day that I cannot stream. So I finished this today and see I know how much time I take, and if I take short enough, we'll play something extra. Condition stable, discharge authorized. Right. This screen, I haven't seen it since Friday, so let me refresh myself on this. Soundtrack is great. No problems on that in that regard. But yeah, no, not at all. Certainly great in that aspect. No, very good. I'm curious about the Egyptologist playthrough. Absolutely. Yeah, they used so much research and then this is what they did with it. Yeah, this intro promises great things, but so you get to see a lot of good scenes, but not exactly what I would have liked. First you have to come here, right? Ah, good morning. I remember the voice I did earlier. Miss Jones, is it not? We have been expecting you. I am Emil Gruber, the manager. I have a letter here which was left to your left to await your arrival. Greco-Roman Museum Rue des Musées, Alexandria. Miss Jones. Post restante sa voi presto den. Dear Miss Jones, Thank you for your recent letter inquiring about the procedure for obtaining archaeological excavation permits. I do not normally involve myself with such matters, but as you come recommended by a friend of many years, I shall be pleased to do what I can to help. These things take time in Egypt, so I suggest that you visit me at the museum as soon as convenient once you arrive in Alexandria. I look forward to seeing you then. Yours cordially, George Laytonstone. We go directly to the George Laytonstone in this case. Very good. Also, neat that she's called Jones. On arrival in Alexandria, booked in at Savoy Palace Hotel, check the permit with Professor Laytonstone. Greco-Roman Museum is at 4th Roman Museum Street. If letter hasn't arrived, mention Lord Shelford's name. Check current rates for diggers. Webster says that he was cheated last year. Mahoud Alam is meant to be reliable, but may already be working for another expedition. So this is interesting. We are on an expedition, the only ones that have any business around here. Being here. How are the other save games? They're all here? I have to admit, prior taking much more time surprised me. So, Jones. Yeah. I should have saved it as Jones 1. Oh well, one more save available. Escape. Rescue 1, Jones. Well, it's actually the only one that's called Jones, so. As long as I call the next one Jones 1 is gonna be fine. What do you say? Anything for me, Emil? There is nothing else for you at the moment. That was maybe the voice. That's where you check. I'm sorry, Miss Jones, but it isn't working at the moment. It is most unsatisfactory. They say they cannot get the part to repair it, but how does it look? A Swiss managed hotel where the clock does not work. You will find that the clock in the bar works perfectly, however. So, let's just check what time is it in case. They have the same discussion about it. Okay. Savoy Museum. Wonder if we're gonna get a new different location. I would hope so. Museum, let's go. Next time I can enter. Let's explore the area. Cannot see anything. Unfortunate. Seeing this place during the day looks different. I can see many more details here. No chair here also. Ah, Miss Jones. Good of you to come so promptly. Now, you're after an excavation permit, I believe. Well, if you'd like me to let me contact the authorities in Cairo for you, I might be able to speed things up a bit. It's still likely to take a fortnight or so, I'm afraid. In the meantime, I don't suppose you'd be kicking your heels, but I wonder if you would mind me doing me a great favor. Oh, this is new. This is completely new. The dialogue also, of course, is new because we never been here during the day in this room. Oh shit. So, Miss Jones, in the last few months, a lot of papyri have been turning up on the black market. Not just fragments of manuscript, but almost complete papyrus scrolls. As I'm sure you realize, that's most unusual. And what worries me is that someone has discovered a major tomb and is systematically looting it. What's even more worrying, the material is all from the Ptolemaic era, and may even have formed part of the Alexandrian library. If material of such importance were lost to scholars, it would be a tragedy. The police need someone who isn't known here to help them, and when I got your letter I thought that you might be ideal. So are you willing to help us? Sure. Good. I was sure I could count on you. Now, you'll need to go over to the El Gumruk police station. If you've got one of those maps of Alexandria the cooks do, I'll mark it on there for you. I'll give them a ring to let them know you're coming as well. The man you need to speak to is Bimbashi Cameron. Goodbye and thank you for your help. Oh, we can see this room from this other side. And on the floor? Very good. So, check my notes. Papyri are being sold on the black market, probably from a looted tomb, as the quantity is unusually fine, almost complete in many cases. There are a number of them. And all from the same era, Ptolemaic. They may even have formed part of the Library of Alexandria. Contact Bimbashi Cameron, Egyptian police, in charge of the case at El Gumruk police station. Nothing else for now. No. Just way to get out of here. Just in case. Since Jones won. Interesting that they called her Jones, Grace Jones, but Ptolemy is. This is a note that we could read, but we will not, because this game doesn't need it. Unfortunate, because they wrote all of this. It's never useful. I expected to reference that material many times. Not. Apparently not. So Cameron Museum. Still on the first day, eh? Ah, Professor Stone's Trojan Horse. What was it? Oh, Professor Stone Trojan Horse. He told me to expect a visit from you. I'm Cameron, Miss Jones. Pleased to meet you. Now, I don't know if he told you, but we have a pretty fair idea of who is behind the racket. There are two good reasons why we haven't done anything so far, though. One is that our suspect is Greek, and although I think I can get around them, the remaining capitulations still come into the picture. Oh, I'm sorry. I forget you might not be as familiar with them as I have to be. They were legal privileges and immunities, granted to foreign countries to encourage trade, when Egypt was part of the Ottoman Empire. They were amended after the war, but it still means that I can arrest a Greek subject, without a representative of the Greek consul being present. The other problem, to be honest with you, is that we may not have rooted out all the corruption in the force. Yes, a few years back in 1917, the Mamur Zaptov, or head of secret police, a man called Philippides, was sentenced to 5 years in jail for gross corruption. When the road starts at the top, it usually goes all the way down. Russell Faza has rooted a lot of it out since then, but I don't want to take any chances. I need someone who can pose convincingly as a buyer of manuscripts, but who isn't connected with the police in any way. All I'd like you to do is contact our suspect, and if you're offered any antiquities, pretend to agree. So it starts similarly, but with a different trip to the museum first. So are you willing to help now that I've explained or not? Willing to help or not? Willing to help. Splendid. Now, it's a case of Cherchez la femme here. The suspect is a Greek widow called Ariadne Elitis. When her husband died, she took over his business interests, the most public of which are the Gardens of Paradise Cafe and the Elitis Import-Export Co. Meet her in her office? Not a bad idea at all, because I'm an Egyptologist. You could pretend you wanted to send back some antiquities you'd already bought. That's what I'm thinking. That will give her a perfect opportunity to raise the subject. So would you prefer the office or to the cafe? Office. So there is more variation. Alright. Tell her that you need to ship something bulky back to the USA. A statue or something. If she doesn't take the bait, you may have to mention manuscripts yourself. But try to be casual about it. Do you remember what I said about the capitulations? Yes. Yes, I remember. I wish I could say that all consular officials gave us their prompt and enthusiastic support. but many of them see a posting here as the first step to a prosperous retirement. I can't take the chance of Mrs. Lightis being tipped off, so I'll just arrange to meet one of them for cocktails. And arrange you to meet her in the bar of your hotel. You arrange to meet in the bar of your hotel, yes. You're at the Savoy Palace, aren't you? She will probably suggest that as a meeting place anyway. But if not, get her to agree to it. Now, she'll want to see the color of your money at some point. But don't worry about that. I'll make arrangements with cooks to provide you with a banker's draft. Thomas Cook and Sons. Their office is almost opposite your hotel. I'll let them know you're coming. Ask to have the draft delivered to the hotel just before you're due to meet. That way they can tell me the date and time. Anyway, good luck, Miss Jones. I'll arrange for one of my men to take you back to your hotel now. By the way, don't contact me directly again. She might get to hear of it. Goodbye for now, and thank you for your help. So, let's go to this guy immediately. Anything for me, dude? Anything for me, Emil? Not at the moment, Miss Jones. So, it's a mix of things, this. Cameron's main suspect is a Greek woman, Ariadne Elitis. She runs the Gardens of Paradise Cafe and the Elitis Import-Export Company. Meet her, pretend to be interested in buying manuscripts, and arrange handover in bar of Savoy Palace. Arrange letter of credit from Cooks, just over the road from the hotel. They will contact Cameron with the time of meeting. So, this sounds all good to me. I remember this song. Look at the music they did, but they wasted their time. It's still the same time, basically. Look, we have both locations. That's why she's the main character. She gets to go everywhere. I see. Let's go to Elitis. Good day. How may I help you? I bought some antiquities, which are too bulky to take back to the USA in my luggage, and I need to arrange for them to be shipped back. Could you do that? The name is Jones, by the way. Miss Diana Jones. That will be no problem. I will see what ships have space available, and let you know the likely cost. Where are you staying in Alexandria? I'm at the Savoy Palace Hotel. I hope you were pleased with what you bought. Should I take a chance and mention manuscripts? Yes. I was very pleased indeed. But I also had hoped to buy some good quality papyrus manuscripts while I was here. Manuscripts? There are plenty to be had in the city, if you know where to look. I could ask around for you if you like. I'm sorry. Where did you say you were staying? Oh yes, the Savoy Palace. Goodbye then, Miss Jones. I'll contact you as soon as I have some news. Hey dude, anything for me? Anything for me, Emil? Not at the moment, Miss Jones. Do I exit and enter? I don't know what to do now. I wanna save again already. This is difficult. This is difficult. I don't know. I don't know. Do I give up on the day? I should wait for the next morning. Oh well. Nothing comes to mind. Let me just see if there's anything new in this. No. Okay. I was thinking about it long and hard, but I decided to go to sleep. Let's hope I can without fucking up anything. Yes, I have a save. So. Wait. Can I examine this? The mosque of the Prophet Daniel. Excuse me, Miss Jones. There is a message for you. It arrived earlier this morning. Okay. Miss Jones, Savoy Palace Hotel. Dear Miss Jones, I'm delighted to be able to tell you that so soon that I believe I have found a truly remarkable item, with which I think you will be delighted. Not knowing your schedule, I have arranged to be in the Savoy Palace bar at 11 this morning. I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, that seems like a resolution to my problems. So, anything else here? $11 this morning. So, actually, I should go there. 11 this morning is the time of the meeting, so I should go to Cook and tell him. Let's see. Yes, madam? What can I do to help you? I'd like a letter of credit, please. Certainly, madam. Oh, are you the lady we were told to expect? Bimbashi Cameron? Yes, that's right. What amount should it be for? Should have thought of that. I can't tell him yet. You're not sure yet? Well, don't worry. Just let us know when you want it. All the arrangements have been made. Okay. Don't think there's anything I can help you with anymore. Ah, shit, okay. After all, that didn't fuck up anything. So, I thought this was already the meeting. Apparently I am wrong. Chancellor for your visit. Right, I don't remember the names of the saves. Jones 3. Okay. And then just after 10. Should I wait till 11? Yes. As she is. Miss Jones, I had to see you. I have a tremendous opportunity. I was speaking to a business colleague earlier, a member of the Coptic community here. It seems that one of his cousins has run up substantial gambling debts. His uncle must sell a family heirloom to meet them and avoid disgrace to the family. The heirloom is a case scroll, and from the sound of it worth far more than he is asking. Although his cousin's debts must be phenomenal, since he wants 500 Egyptian pounds. Could you afford that or not? Afford. I wish I knew something about actually buying papyri. How much did the budget pay for the papyrus of Amy? £100 for something like that would be cheap. But then it's not my money anyway. I'd better try to sound confident. So she's using the Egyptologist to get by her. For a single scroll to be worth that much, it would have to have something quite unique. I have no doubt that it is. The case alone may be worth more. Now, I assume that you have arrangements with a local bank. We will need to move fast. Or he may change his mind or sell to someone else. If you can procure a bank's draft or letter of credit, I will meet you back here at 6 o'clock this evening. Okay, and here we go. And we are left alone like idiots. Anyway, now I can go cook. Alright. Let's see what he says now. Hello, madam. Ready for the letter of credit now? I've never seen this interaction, so... How much should it be for? £500. I understand that you're staying at the Savoy Palace Hotel. I can arrange for the draft to be sent there. When would you like it? Just before 6 this evening. I'll get on it right away, madam. So, now it gets a bit shady around here. You, anything? Anything for me, Emil? Not at the moment. Okay. So, anything around here? Okay. Case the scroll being offered. It is a fake. Cameron may be able to arrest her even if it is for a different offense. Coptic business colleague. Alleged to be selling family heirloom to meet gambling debt. No name. She hasn't suggested meeting him. Does he exist at all? Arrange draft with cooks meeting hotel bar 6 p.m. This is what we need. So Jones 4. I am not something if not thorough. Alright, I was already inside. Far too early. I'll come back just before 6. There we go. Hello, Miss Jones. I think you will like what I have for you. I have certainly never seen it's like before. Did you manage to arrange the money? I've arranged a letter of credit through Thomas Cook & Son. They were going to deliver it to the hotel. I'll just go and see if it has arrived. I'll wait here while you go and get it then. A messenger from Cook's office brought this over for you earlier, Miss Jones. I was going to tell you that a lady was waiting for you in the bar, but you already know that. Well, and we go with letters. The same letter of the other time. Perfect, let's put it up here. Have you got it? Good. As I am sure you are aware, to take this out of the country legally, you will need a permit from the authorities in Cairo. Because of that, I don't want you to give me the money now. I am used to arranging such things, and it will be my pleasure to organize it for you. It will also guarantee that the artifact is genuine. Meanwhile, I will confirm to the seller that you have the money. When the permit arrives, I will give you this, and you will give me the money. May I just see the draft for a moment? Yes, this is the draft. Get it on your hand. In your mouth. Look at it. Thank you. I will let you have it back in a minute. And then I better take the case somewhere safer. But while I check the letter of credit, look at it. Have you ever seen it like before? Have you anything to say? Have you anything to say, Egyptologist? Just one moment. Ariadne Elitis, I am placing you under arrest. The gentleman behind your companion there is a representative of the Greek consul, who has agreed to surrender you into the custody of Egyptian authorities. You are not obliged to say anything, but anything that you do say will be taken down, and you may be given in evidence against you. Really, Cameron? Have you run out of brothels and gambling dens to raid? You are making a grave mistake. I warn you. The other car will be here in a minute, Cad. Take her to the station and I'll question her later. Yes, sir. I'd better look after that letter of credit. Can you let me have it, Miss Jones? Thank you. Right, we'd better see what we've got here. I've arranged for it to be examined by Professor Stone at the museum. Why don't you come along as well? Yeah? Splendid. Let's go over there right away then. Huh. This happens on day 2 this time around. This time around it happens on day 2. Let's hope I say some stuff since I'm an Egyptologist. Well then, Professor, what do you make of it? The case is an extraordinary mixture of elements. That does occur, of course. The catacombs are the prime example, but there's nothing like this that I know of. The workmanship is superb, but the trouble with the gold leaf is that it doesn't tarnish. It could have been made yesterday, and probably was. If it is a fake, it's likely the scroll is too. Scroll? Yes, there really was a scroll inside there. I've done some preliminary mimifying and unrolled the first few feet. Shall we take a look at it? Before I start examining the scroll, take a look at the case. I'll just turn it round for you so that you can see it properly. I see what he means. It looks like a sarcophagus, but it's too small for anything except a sacred animal. And they were usually just bandaged. It's as if someone has tried to make one from descriptions, without ever having seen the real thing. The style is an Egyptian. Pharaohs were sometimes portrayed wearing a crown of cobras, or the cobra goddess on their brow, but never surrounded by a serpent's head like that. You see what I mean? You'd expect it to hold a secret animal. That's right. Something like an ibis or a cat. Whenever or not the case is genuine, or belongs with the scroll, I suggest we take a look at that now. It's in Greek, not one of the other scripts. Are you familiar with any of these, Miss Jones? Yes, I've studied papyrology. I can make out the title from here. It looks like Biblion Kairoukion, so she's the one saying it. The Book of the Serpent Staff? Yes. It could refer to the staff carried by heralds, but is more likely the winged staff twinned with serpents of Hermes. I'll see what sense I can make of this, but you'll need to be patient. Okay, Egyptologism is coming handy. Very nice. It is dedicated to the Ptolemy Psychion. Ah, Evergetes or Well-Doer II. A fat tyrant with an unsavory reputation. Ah, that's a new info. Not to be confused with the first ever Jetis, who extended the library and built the Sareptum. The Alexandrian Library, the greatest in the ancient world. The writer promises to reveal great secrets and powerful magic. Most of it so far, however, concerns the history of one Neneferkapta and his descendants. Can be sure what the extra E of the beginning on the beginning means, but the rest could mean the beautiful is the spirit of Ta, one of the oldest Egyptian gods, a solar deity whose name means the opener, believed to open the mouth of the dead to release their soul. The scroll describes Neneferkapta as the only son of an ancient pharaoh. There may have been someone of that name. The records of some dynasties are far from complete, but it certainly appears in one of the Demotic tales. Folk stories from the Greco-Roman era, written in the late form of Egyptian. One in particular concerns a folk hero called Setne Kamuas. He actually existed. By the time of the Demotic stories, he was a legendary hero, a bit like Robin Hood. But the real man lived more than 3,000 years ago, was a son of the great Ramses II, and high priest of Ptah at Memphis. According to the scroll, Neneferkapta received a vision from the god Thoth. Scribe of the gods, reckoner of time, giver of eternal life, and teacher of magic to men. Many more info from her. The vision led Neneferkapta to a city of Serpents, in the land of the dead, in the midst of the sea of Coptos. I don't recognize that name at all. The land of the dead was the western desert, and the sea of Coptos might be a name for part of it, or a magical location. There inside a series of boxes, of iron, then bronze, then wood, then ebony, then ivory, then silver, and finally of gold, guarded by an endless serpent, that might mean immortal, is found the book which Thoth wrote with his own hand. Its full title is The Book Which Governs the Return of the Stars. That much is clear. But the rest is written in very ornate and obscure language. That's usually the case with magical and alchemical texts. The key secrets were passed on by word of mouth. Well, we can expect that to happen. Can we, Miss Jones? Can you make sense of any of the rest? I think so. A lot can be guessed from the context. It seems that he studied the wisdom of the people of the city, and, forgive me, with a lady present, I must apologize for the indelicacy of the subject matter, but he brought his wife to the city so that they might father children on her. At some point, he killed the serpent which guarded the book, stole the book, and used one of the spells in it to imprison the inhabitants. After that, he talks of his daughters guarding some sort of secret knowledge, until the stars are right, and of the sons living the company of men, when the blood of their fathers showed in them. Why was the city called the City of the Serpents? Because his people were serpents. The idea of hybrid monsters, half human, half animal, is common in Egyptian religion and myth. And maybe not just there. You came in the dacha, Miss Jones. Should I tell the professor what happened when he docked? Yes, tell him. One of the passengers, a Turkish citizen, was coming down the gangplank when he was stopped by an Arab, who was then shot by a policeman. You might say the sort of thing happens here every day, but there are disturbing features. The eyewitnesses were almost hysterical and babbled something about the Arab turning into a snake. When I looked at the body, I could see what had upset them. Dr. Morrison carried out the autopsy on the Arab, and I asked him about the scaly skin, slit-pupilled eyes, and needle teeth. But it just matters something about skin diseases and birth defects. The same sort of things probably gave rise to this story in the first place. Back to what you were saying, Professor. Are there actually any magic spells in the scroll? It mentions 3. The first one is of summoning. The user must call upon the most secret name of Thoth. The second one is a spell of binding. The ancient Egyptians believed that words had magic powers, and the showing a thing could... And they forgot some letters this time around. Showing a thing could make it happen. The enemy of the caster should become bound, as the words of the spell are bound to the scroll. The third spell is one of true sight, or divination. It uses the needle of gold and the spittle of serpents, but doesn't say how. Golden needle. Well, I'll be. That's uncanny. Back in 1918, one of the officers stationed in Cairo, a Captain King, was found semi-conscious on a bench in the Esbeke Gardens. There was no obvious sign of injury, but he seemed to be drugged, and when he was spoken to, all he would say was, "She scratched my eye with a golden needle and gave me second sight." He stayed in the state for several weeks, and then became feverish and delirious and died, but that was all he would say. The strangest thing was, when they carried out an autopsy, there was a scratch in the corner of one eye. He never got to the bottom of the affair. The only clue we had was that King was one of the ladies, and he'd been seen with a beautiful young Arab woman. She was wearing a veil though, and it's hard to identify someone just from their eyes. The telephone. That will probably be for me. I told them I could be reached here in an emergency. What? Oh! How long ago? Any witnesses? Alright. I'm on my way. You must excuse me, I'm afraid. Something bearing on this case has come up elsewhere. I'll try to get back, but if not, I'll be in touch with you tomorrow, Professor. Of course, Cameron. I'll carry on here for a while, and try to decide whether this is genuine or not. Good night. Good night, Miss Jones. Okay. Then an extraordinary mixture, the whole thing. This part seems to be a prophecy of the end of the world, when the stars are right. Such prophecy occurred a lot toward the end of the Ptolemaic era. That could mean that this is a later copy, with additions, of the original dedicated to Ptolemy the Seventh. Evergetes or Well-Doer the Second. Okay, Serpents, here we go. The Temple of Jupiter Serapis, dynastic god of the Ptolemies, site of most of the Alexandrian library. When the stars are right. She who is foremost among the daughters of Neferkapta. She who is Isis. The greatest Egyptian goddess, mother of the gods, and skilled in the use of words of power, shall call upon Thoth, by his name that she alone knoweth, and the messenger of those that wait shall come unto her, that they may be united. That would refer to the spell of summoning, but the name is almost certain to have been passed on orally, as the central secret of a mystery cult. Those shadowy bodies, teaching their initiates religious and magical secrets. The cult of Isis was indeed one of the greatest. That's unusual. I never heard Isis described as the wife of Thoth before. The union will mark the dawning of a new age. When the old gods will return, their servants shall have power over all things. The world will be destroyed, and a new one take its place. Oh, blast that lamp! The bulb must be going. Anyway, that's as far as I can go for now. I don't want to risk handling the scroll anymore. In the morning I can begin work on it properly. It'll take months, maybe years. Fully appreciate what we've got here. Even if we know where it came from. But of one thing I am confident of. It isn't a fake, modern or ancient. The style and script are both too consistent for that. The end of the world was predicted in one of the Sibylline prophecies, which circulated in the last years of the Ptolemies. It foretold the destruction of the world by fire during the reign of a widow queen, and the last Cleopatra was called widow because she reigned without a king. What on earth? For now, one location extra, but otherwise extra dialogue, especially from her. The message of the book is not for you. Its time approaches, and it has not yet served its purpose. Bring it to me! Too bad for the lack of sound effects. Like the light bulb going and stuff. I am teacher and messenger. To those that seek, I bring wisdom and knowledge. You have sought knowledge, Jones. And it shall be my gift to you. You should know what lies beyond. Come. I cannot remember it. Or this time I can? No. I wake up here again. I am worried, madam. You were standing there when we came in, and for 10 minutes you have not moved. Are you alright? Yeah. Yes, I'm alright, thank you. Where am I? The catacombs of Komen Chagaufa, madam. How did I get here? I don't know. Do not tell anyone. I am not really a tourist guide. My brother got me this job. A solar disc. That's it. And got nothing here. Oh. Do I go to the hotel? Sure, why not? Go to this guy. My God! Miss Jones! But we have thought you were... What has happened? You look terrible. Please, take a seat in the bar, if you will be so kind. Just for a few minutes, while I make arrangements. Well, I'll be. Emil was right. It is you. What happened? Where have you been? I was in the catacombs, I think. At Comenchagaufa. Then I came here. Yes, but where were you before that? At the museum, with you and the professor. When was that? Last night. Wasn't it? No, Miss Jones. That was 3 months ago. You've been missing since then. You must be suffering from amnesia. I'd better bring you up to date. You remember I was called away from the museum, I hope? Well, after we arrested the elitist woman, we began searching her properties to see if we could find any other manuscripts. At her warehouse they found the body of her custom agent, Yusuf al-Rashid, in the cellar, and found me at the museum. Once I'd been to the warehouse, I went back to the station and began questioning her. She was worried about something, but before I could get anything out of her, there was a phone call from the museum. The watchman there had discovered the body of the professor. There had obviously been a struggle. The scroll and case were missing, and so were you. It looked like a robbery had gone wrong, and I didn't have to look far for a suspect. But when I got back to the station, she had disappeared as well. Wait, you mean she had jumped bail? No, she put her money to better use. A lavish bribe did the trick. If I catch the man responsible... Anyway, enough of that. At that point, quite frankly, we didn't have much to go on. At first, we thought that you had been kidnapped and expected a ransom demand. When that didn't appear, we were forced to assume the worst. And now, 3 months later, here you are alive and apparently unarmed. Except for your memory, that is.
If I did tell him that I can't remember what happened to me, I don't think he'd believe me.
I can only assume that you were being held somewhere. That they decided to turn you loose and give you a bang on the head before dumping you in the catacombs. You've had a very lucky escape, but I think that for your own safety, it's best if you leave Alexandria. I'll beat the bushes and see if I can find out where you were kept. The expedition took place in your absence, so there's not much point in going up country now. If I were you, I'd get the next ship back home and pick up the pieces from there. I really feel dreadful about this. If it wasn't for me, none of this would have affected you. Please accept my deepest apologies. Goodbye, Miss Jones, and good luck. Some money also, can you give? Compensation for damages? No, Miss Jones, over here a moment, please. I understand from Bimbashi Cameron that you will be staying here for a few days, until your ship leaves. I've taken the liberty of putting you in your own room. I hope this meets with your approval. Thank you.
Ready for me, Emil?
The moment. So, let's read this.
The victim of the stabbing at the docks, where was he during the voyage, was Turkish. Autopsy on the killer showed that he actually died from a ruptured heart caused by an unknown stimulant. Even if not, 2 shots at point-blank range would have done the job. Killer had a scaly skin, slit pupilled eyes, and pointed teeth. Doctors attributed this to birth defects or skin diseases they could not if they had seen him fall as I did. Notes on scroll. Bilbion Kari Eureke on the Book of the Serpent Staff. Nenefer Kapta, son of ancient pharaoh, was guided by a vision from Thoth to a city of serpents. He found the book which governs the return of the stars, also referred to as the book which Thoth wrote with his own hand, that's new, inside a series of boxes, guarded by an endless, could mean immortal serpent, inside a series of boxes. Weird refuse here. He studied the wisdom of the people of the city, and they seem to have fathered children on his wife. At some point, he killed the serpent, stole the book, and imprisoned the people of the city with one of the spells in it. His daughters were to keep a secret until the stars are right, passed on by word of mouth. His sons left the company of men when his father's blood showed in them. The scroll has 3 spells: summoning, binding, divination. It prophesies the end of the world when the stars are right. The phrase again is can confirm that it is from the time of the Ptolemies, and such prophecies were common then. Then the foremost of the daughter of Nenefer Kapta, she who is Isis, shall call upon Thoth by his name that she alone knoweth. Was the name passed on orally as the central secret of a mystery cult? Is it the spell of summoning? The messenger of those that wait shall come unto her, that they may be united. The new one will mark a new age, when the old gods will return, and their servants shall have power over all things. Their world will be destroyed, and a new one will take its place. The professor doesn't think the scroll is a fake. Where have I been for the last 3 months? You should not know what lies beyond. Beyond the spirit door, there was the darkness, the screaming, the things that clutch, the awful space, the darkness, the screaming, the things. They wanted my soul. I must not think about it anymore. Cameron says they found the body of Ariadne's custom agent Yusuf al-Rashid in her warehouse when they searched it. Where is Ariadne now? What is the message of the book? Who is it for? What is its purpose? As time approaches. No, I must not think about it.
Okay. To say a bit more than I thought about everything. So let's close and open Jones 5. So at least I can save finally.
You, anything to say for me? So, I have to search for her. Like this? No sign of her? No. Not here. Go back to the museum. It's my only idea. This is where it happened. Not much point in going there now. Why do you do this, huh? Let's try the cafe. He may know where Ariadne is. Should I ask him? Okay. I'm looking for Mrs. Elitis. Where is she? I do not know. That's it? Oh, Miss Jones? Another gentleman just left this note for you. There we go. So this character is the main character because they mixed everything around here. Miss Jones, I have heard that you are alive and back in Alexandria. I must meet you tonight. Come to the Gardens of Paradise at 9 o'clock. Odul will take you to me. Tell no one you are coming. Ariadne Elitis. Alright, we have something. Click here. I have to wait first. Well, I am not the smartest. So, hey, you have something else for me? Anything for me, Emil? A moment, Miss Jones. Who's the gentleman? Okay, well. I could wait here until 9. Alright. So this is why this is the main character of the game, because you get both the police angle and both Ariadne Elitis to meet you. Which is interesting. Let me check the time. 9 o'clock. Time to go to the cafe. Perfect. Yeah, you get everything. If you want to do only one playthrough, you get everything. You can miss stuff though. I bet. I haven't seen certain things repeat. Come with me, madam. Let's see if we get another new, unique scene for this place. Come with me, madam. Of course. I know that you have to press that pink stone back there. Here we are again here. In a different... So it is you. Right, we're actually meeting properly for the first time. When I heard you were alive, I had to see you. Abdul, bring us some more coffee, please. Maybe, since you are alive, there could be hope. For 3 months now, I have been trapped here. Not able to risk leaving. Not even sure that I was safe here. Of course. She's been hiding from the police. The police? In some ways, they're the least of my worries. Of course, it is important that they don't come blundering in, or they could ruin everything. What is this place anyway? It is the only place I could be safe. This is where I do my real work. I pursue certain esoteric disciplines and crafts. Some might call them magic, but that is a word used by the ignorant, for things of which they know nothing. Only I could erect wards and guards to keep me safe. Not about, no physical bolts and bars, but ways of protecting myself from less obvious attacks. Just to explain everything, since we are an Egyptologist but not another mystic like her, or an occultist. Everyone had contact with that cursed scroll seemed fated to die, and I could only assume that I was next. But now you are here, alive. Tell me what happened that night. We'd taken the scroll to the museum, and the professor began translating it. Cameron left after he got a phone call. It must have been when he heard about Rashid's death. After Cameron left, the professor continued to translate the scroll for a couple of hours. Then suddenly... And we get the scene again.
Perfect. Perfect timing. Yeah. I literally quoting the stuff for her. Too bad they make this look again. This feels like a scene to pad time because they knew they made a game that it's more of a scenery. It's great scenery though, eh? Man, I would love to love this game. It's close to having stuff that it's to greatness. It's close. It's close. But the fact that you don't do much aside from clicking on things and doing certain other stuff to get the correct responses, it's what sours me on it. There we go. The next thing I remember, or rather want to remember, I was standing in the catacombs at Common Chagaufa. There I discovered that 3 months had passed. I blame myself for much of what has happened. Even the case alone should have told me how dangerous it was. But having read the scroll, I should have never let it outside this room. I didn't intend you to have it anyway. After you had seen it, I was going to have a copy of the case made, filled with scraps of genuine papyrus, and sell you that with a forged export permit. So she's explaining stuff that we've never seen explanation for until now. Then Cameron sprang his tap, and it all went wrong. Perhaps it's just as well. If I had kept it, the professor's fate would have been mine. What really worries me, though, is not that he died after, and I might have, but what could happen. The true significance of the scroll and of that night's event. As I said just now, when the papers reported it, they made great play of the fact the professor was found in front of a spirit door. But none of them asked whose name was written on that door, who it was built to serve. I had 3 months to ask and find the answer. The guides and archaeologists say that the inscription on the door is unique. It is not, but only once before I have seen it in Prim's hellish work. The Vermis Mysteries, or Mysteries of the Worm. Ludwig Prim was a wizard, necromancer, and alchemist who died in the 16th century, but boasted of having lived for hundreds of years. Part of the dreadful book tells of his visit to Egypt and of the time he spent in Alexandria. It tells of a god, worshipped as Heutia Herit, Thoth the Great of Terror, but also gives the real name and title of that god, Nyarlathotep, servant of the outer gods. He is known by many names, sometimes as the crawling chaos, sometimes the haunter of the dark. Whatever he is called, he is evil itself. It must have been him who came through that spirit door, came for the case and scroll. Why? What could be so important about it? Shall I remind her of what he said? He said, the message of the book is not for you. Its time approaches, and it has not yet served its purpose. Who is its message for? It said in the scroll that the foremost among the daughters of Nenefer Captain knew the name. The scroll said that she who is foremost among the daughters of Nenefer Kapta shall call upon Thoth by his name that she alone knoweth. When Ar-Rashid began selling me papyri, he told me that he got them from a tomb in the Libyan desert, and when I told him I wanted something special to sell to you, he said that there were treasures there as well, and that he would bring me one. What if he was lying? What if the case didn't come from a 10-centuries-old tomb? What if the worshippers of that dreadful god still exist, and he robbed them?
Should I tell her about the incident when I arrived in Alexandria? A strange thing happened when I was coming off my ship. When I first arrived here. One of the other passengers, Turkish by the look of him, was stabbed to death. That was bad enough. But there was something almost worse about the man who stabbed him. He was shot by the police, and as he seemed to change. When I looked at the body, it was human, but his skin was rough and scaly, almost reptilian, and he had hideous pointed teeth. The scroll spoke of the sons of Neferkapta, living the company of men, when the blood of their fathers showed in them. But why was it important to get the scroll back? Was it something to do with that phrase in the scroll? When the stars are right? I don't know. I would have to see if over the last 3 months there have been any significant events in the heavens. The calculations I have to do will take some time. But while I am making them, there is something you could do. I can't understand why you found yourself in the catacombs. Perhaps if you went back there, you might see something significant. They will be closed now, so I suggest you return to your hotel, get some sleep, and visit them tomorrow morning. Come back after that, but remember, tell no one that you have seen me. If the police find me here, they will ruin everything. What we have to do is too important for that.
I'm in front of the hotel. I wanna check actually the catacombs. Let's see the manual here. Nothing new yet. I'll save tomorrow morning in case this is hopefully this is not a death. The catacombs.
Closed for the night.
Okay, yeah, no. Hey, you. Not at the moment. Okay, so I'll go to sleep. So, go to sleep, visit the catacombs. This time around, they make me visit the catacombs in the morning. You? Not at the moment. What if I visit the catacomb? Anything to say for yourself? Nothing here. Only got a solar disk. But there is nothing here. On the ground, for sure nothing. Well, do you have anything new here? Let's save then. Essentials for your visit. Jones 6. Jones 6. Okay. Go back to the cafe. Okay, yes, come with me, madam. And come with me, madam. Part 2, The Rising Revengeance. I grab this these bottles on the ground now, not even close. Alright. Here we are.
Come in, Miss Jones. I must tell you what I have discovered. To begin with, I made a chart of the heavens to see if there was anything significant in the position of the planets. I couldn't see anything, but then I remembered what the scroll said. It talks about when the stars are right. The inner planets move too fast. If they were the key, the time would have come and gone by now. Then I thought to include Yugoth. Certain text, ancient and forbidden, into a ninth planet at the very edge of the solar system and give it the name Yugoth. Only one astrologer, 13th century Kairen Al-Ghafir gives the formula for calculating the position of Yugot. But he was reluctant to discuss its significance. Then I thought, if the stars are right now, I might get some clue by seeing when this last happened. I tried regressing them, working on the outer position backwards. Al-Ghafir calculated that Yugot takes about 245 years to make a complete procession through the houses of the zodiac, so the last time the other planets were in the same position relative to Yugot was almost 200 years ago. Then I calculated the exact date. 8 cycles of Yugot will take 1960 years. Then I remembered what had been happening in the ancient world then. Happening here, in Egypt, in Alexandria. And what was that? Of course, that will be the time of Antony and Cleopatra, the last years of the Ptolemaic dynasty before Egypt became a Roman province. More than just the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty, it was one of the turning points of history. At its center was a woman, mistress of Julius Caesar and of his heir Mark Antony, the Serpent of the Nile, Cleopatra. Nowadays her story has become a romance, a story of doomed passion, but that trivializes it. At stake was much more than who would control the Egypt and its fabulous wealth, who would rule the Roman Empire after Julius Caesar. The Romans made their emperors gods when they died, but Cleopatra and Antony were hailed in their lifetimes as Aphrodites and Dionysus, the Greek goddess of beauty and fruitfulness, and the Greek god of divine madness. The Egyptians hailed them as Isis and Osiris, goddess of creation, great in words of power, god of the dead, lord of eternity. If they had not been defeated, the ancient world would have been ruled by living gods. Historians knew this, but they did not know of that book, a book written for the Ptolemies, written in Greek so that we would understand it and it could do its work. They knew that there is little reliable information on Cleopatra's mother, but they have not asked why. They know that their attempt to rule the world failed, but they have not asked what would have happened if he succeeded. I cannot stop asking myself, and I fear I know the answer. If the stars are right again, for the first time in 2 millennia, I fear what is about to happen. Those who have guarded the scroll and the knowledge in it will call upon the god that they worship, that he may open the way for others, for the outer gods themselves, to return where the once they ruled. It cannot happen, it must not happen, but we know so little for certain. Did you find anything in the catacombs? Nothing unusual. It could have been where Rashid found the scroll. In any case, because it's been excavated. If only we knew where to find he found the scroll, we might have had a lead. But the greedy fool wouldn't share the discovery with anyone else. And now it's dead. I'm reluctant to suggest it, but there is a way to find out. There are certain rites and rituals which I have learned in the course of my researches, which may allow us to gain the information we need. We will need to wait until nightfall, but I must prepare anyway. Okay. What? Let us go. Abdul, bring the shovel and the rest of the items. Alright. Oh, this is a new scene. Where are we? This is the Coptic section of one of the oldest graveyards in Alexandria. What I will have to do will not be pleasant. And you don't have to help unless you want to. Would you rather wait outside? No. Abdul has opened the tomb and will prepare the ritual for us. When we go inside, it is important to avoid the trivial conversation. And vital that you do exactly what I tell you. When I tell you. If you do not, the consequences could be disastrous. You will find the brazier set out in the tomb, and 3 packets of powders. When I tell you, add the powders to the fire. Do you understand? Let's go. I do. Shit, can I save? Wow. Burn the red powder. Ow. This one. Red powder. Now burn the yellow powder. Right? Some different actions, this is new. Yusuf al-Rashid. By my heart, by my words, by my will, I command you. By your body, by your spirit, by your soul. I command you. By your life, by your death, and by the life that is after death. I command you, arise. Now, burn the black powder. Huh? What I ask, you will answer. I command you.
You have called, and I must answer. But make haste, for your call may have been heard by others.
I need no lesson from you on what may follow the spirits of the dead. Answer now. Your meddling has already caused enough damage. Where did you find it?
What rather said, found it, in its resting place.
How did you come there?
I followed their path.
Where does it begin?
Where I sought a hiding place.
Where was that?
You will find the answer beneath your very feet.
Enough, Rashid. Would you play games with me in death as you did in life? Speak plainly, or I will compel you.
You cannot, but I am permitted to tell you this. Your path begins where mine ended. Release me now and flee, for where his power is great indeed, for here his power is great indeed.
Quick, get out of here.
So completely new scene and new action interaction.
Go, quickly. It's dangerous to remain here. I know where we must go. Come with me.
I'm fine with that.
And here we are back again. When he said that my path begins where his ended, he must have meant here. This was where his body was found. What did Rashid mean about seeking a hiding place? A hiding place for himself or for something else? Something he didn't want her to know about. Her company imports and exports a deal cover for drugs. Wasn't he her customs agent? Wasn't he your customs agent?
Madeda Honor?
Yes. What of it? When he told about looking for a hiding place, he could have meant for drugs. Of course. The miserable dog. I knew he was cheating me by taking backhanders from suppliers and accepting inflated bills, but I let that pass because he was not too greedy. Now I know why. But he must have worried about the drug money that I would find if he kept it in the safe and looked for a hiding place. How could he have been so stupid? He was putting everything I work for at risk for the sake of selling a few okay of ashes to miserable fellain lounging around the coffee shops. Come, let us go to the office. The door to the cellar is in there. The cellar entrance is through the office.
Oh, right, I can save again. I saw also.
She says spring names as Tuia Herit, Thought the Great of Terror. That name was on the spirit door, the door through which he came. Nyarlathotep, why did he come for the book in his case? His message is not for you. When the stars are right, Yugoth. It is 2000 years since Yugoth was last in the same position as it is now. Does that mean that the stars are right again? The last time Cleopatra, who was her mother, and Antony fought Rome for control of the world. If the professor was right, the book was in the Ptolemy's libraries, and in Greek. What will happen now if the stars are right again? Where did Al-Rashid find it? He found it in his resting place, and he followed their path, which began where I sought a hiding place. You will find the answers beneath your very feet. Your path begins where mine ended. He descends us there. Here his power is great indeed. It is not right for the words of the dead and the living to meet. Okay. Okay. This is just... And this is right. The moon is right. We got an entirely new thing. Wow. So we have explored everything in this game. The other three characters have similar careers, and there's the Master of None character. 6, 7. I think I did it right. If not, yes. Okay, good. Okay, let's see what she has to say about this thing. Let's read it. That's the things, the orders. I get the thing here. Alright. That lot doesn't add up. Individually the papers are fine, but together they look like someone is trying to conceal something. The file must set out the arrangements for bringing drugs into Alexandria. Cool. Probably the postal balance. You don't know shit. This is where they found the body. It looks like someone was kind of raising a service or incense. Into say about that. I wonder what that powder is. There must be an entrance somewhere here. For his killers have got him by. It looks like the rest of what they tied him up with. There are some rope fibers in the cracks of this lamp. It's probably from the larger coil of rope. I can understand why that is down here. From the looks of it, Al-Rashid cleared everything else out of the cellar and left the rope. I wonder why. Yeah, this is easy to understand. This is something. I grab this, put it here, and we can go down. What is this place? It must be Ptolemaic, because before Alexandria was founded, there was only a fishing village here. A place called Rakotis. They wouldn't have built anything on this scale. There's no mention of anything like this in the historical sources, but that might be because it was secret. Part of a temple built by one of the mystery cults. Glad we know a lot. There's meant to be no end to the tunnels under the city. I heard a story once, in Syria I think it was, about the fat bride of Alexandria. Apparently the wedding procession was going down the street, a hole opened under her feet, and she vanished, never to be seen again. There is a corridor back here. Okay. Sundial. There is more of it ahead. I don't check on anything, eh? This could be where Rashid found the sarcophagus, and those jars might have held scrolls. But this can be a dead end. These killers must have come from somewhere. This looks like some sort of low tunnel here, mistress. The passage may continue beyond. But why almost block the corridor off at this point? We don't know exactly what the Temple of the Mystery Cults were like, but if this was one, they would have formed part of the initiation rites. Crawling through the tunnel in the dark may have formed part of the ordeal. For mystery cult candidates, let's try to go through it. Yes.
course. We must be on the right track. But we almost must be careful. Whoever killed Rashid might come back this way. Abdul! The tunnel may have collapsed. We must see what has happened to him. What is the strange glow up ahead? I do not know. Yeah, Hafez! Oh, protector indeed! What did that do to him? Back quickly! Whoever killed Rashid must have set a trap. In case anyone followed him. Whatever it was, we didn't set off anything. And I couldn't see anything in the room. So it may be safe to go back and take another look. The poor devil. Hard disk. Adid, Yamashun! Back quickly! Adid Yamashun. Iron Duo Unlucky One. What was that? Some sort of charm against magic? You didn't you see? The dust was moving. But there is no breeze down here. Abdul was killed by an Ifrit. A powerful Mauritian's genie. The Vorish sign revealed it to me dimly. It is a gesture. When made by one with the knowledge of the right spells, it will show something of things from outside in their true form. Some barrier must be imprisoned in it, or we would have been attacked by now. Must find a way past it. But first I must see what is holding it. For the Vorish sign is not enough. I will need the power of the Ibn Ghazi. The potent creation of an ancient Arabian wizard. It has fearless ability to show things of power, things that even the human eye cannot see. Ar-Rashid could have not escaped Abdul's fate without the powder, and neither could his killers. They must have had some. If there is some, it will be around here somewhere, not right back near the cellar. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, let's see if I have anything here. So if I remember correctly, let's drop this stuff. Take this. What's in the jar that you're carrying? Take a closer look at it. Okay. I want to grab this also. Okay, take a closer look at it. Okay. Put it on the ground. Take a closer look. No. How do I examine? No. How do I examine? Because I look at it, would you? How do I do that? How do I look at it closely? Quindi, can I do that? Let's fill the bowler. Let it fill with powder. Fill with powder. Okay. Put it here. Come on. Let's go back to the other room. Wait a second. Let me grab this. And let me save. Essentials for my visit, indeed. Essential. Jones 8. Jones 8. Fuck. Come on. Okay. Blow. Now blow the powder. Look!
The barrier encircles it, but does not touch the walls. We should be able to squeeze past if we are careful.
So, moving this way.
We did it. But I must admit I was worried while I was going past it. There might be something else ahead of us. But take care. Remember what happened to Abdul. If we see light ahead, I leave the lamp behind us. We can always pick it up on the way back. There doesn't seem to be anyone here. So we should be able to risk taking a quick look around.
Let me grab this stuff. Grab. Let's put it in different spots, everything. I'm grabbing this. So this, if I could read it for once. Why can't you read it this time around? Because if I do this, I can read it. Yeah, so that's not it. Talk to you. Talk to you. Let's go here.
An altar. This looks like contains more of the incense in the cellar that was used on Rashid. 7 niches. One for each of the boxes mentioned in the scroll. So that disc. The god is stuffed, without a doubt. But the goddess isn't Isis. With the Tetris it could only be Nephthys. Oh, we got a name. Nephthys. A spirit door. Very different looking from the one in the museum. But it must be just as dangerous.
Let's give her the book. Maybe. I wanted to read it, but...
It's in Turkish. But I do a lot of business with Constantinople. So that isn't a problem. It's Imran's notebook. Kamuran Imran. He was a Turkish schoolmaster and a keen alchemist. A lasher of soul pick as well. But I shouldn't speak ill of the dead. He could have made that lance himself. He was good enough as a craftsman. His things must have been down here for at least 3 months. About the same time you arrived in Alexandria. He was killed coming off a boat from Turkey. I sold Imran some of the first papyri that Rashid brought me. But he wouldn't leave me alone. So after a while I told Rashid to deal with him directly. When Rashid was getting the papyri from the temple, he probably took him down there. But what was he up to? I must read the notebook and see if it tells us.
Let's go back.
Did you read it already?
Oh.
Of course. That must be what happened. Imran had a theory that the Library of Alexandria was home to a lost master work of alchemy, and that fragments of it disappeared in a distorted form in the teachings of mystery cults and the writings of later alchemists. He was always looking for traces of it. What Rashid sold him must have contained fragments, if not more, of the Book of the Serpent Staff, which must have been brought here when the library was destroyed. One of the papyri told how to make the Eye of Thoth. That must be the lens. It should show when the stars are right. We couldn't know what that meant, but that would have made the lens. But would have made the lens anyway. When he wrote this, he hadn't done that, because he was still trying to work out the final part of the ritual. To complete the process, the eye had to be offered to the lightless sun. Was that why it was here in the temple? Was he going to test it?
So we're going to test it? Can I go there? I don't understand then. This doesn't work, what?
I don't think we should stay here any longer. Too dangerous. Go to the cafe and think about what to do next. The lens is the key. If only we can work out what it means to offer it to the lightless sun. The lens is in the shape of a hieroglyph, and the ancient Egyptians often made magical amulets that way. They believed that the image of something had the power of the thing itself, so new stuff. So different characters give you new stuff like this. Look, if you look at it that way, the sun we're looking for could be an image as well, which is why it doesn't give off any light. Of course, a solar disk, a sun which gives no light. That's what Imran must have meant, that it has to be held up to solar disk. But that will mean going all the way back to the temple, and the risk that involves. No, it doesn't. It didn't strike me as significant at the time, but there's a solar disk in the catacombs. It's not as risky trying the lens there, and if it works on one solar disk, it might work on all of them. The catacombs are closed now, and I must be careful about being seen in public. Do you want to go to the catacombs in the morning or risk the temple now? Shit, I didn't save. I risk the temple now. Oh no. We must do something. No! No, the timer ended. And whatever it is, whatever it's risk, the temple is more like. And whatever it's risk, the temple is the more likely place to try. Let's go. Ah, okay, good, good. It happens to be a choice anyway. Can I go this way without a risk this time around? Or do I have to... Wait, do I die? If I don't use the wisdom? I don't know. Use the wisdom. Wait! We didn't go as far as the temple? There's a solar disk over there, above the door. Okay. Solar disk. It's true. Then okay, let's try this one. Nothing. I tried. I told to you once. Oh, eh? Okay. I tried it. Or is this the eye? I tried it there, but it doesn't work, my dear. That's new. I'm not waiting for the morning. The murder Turk was Kamurani Ran, an alchemist looking for the book of the Serpent staff, fragments of which he had found in other manuscripts. Was it taken to the temple when the library was destroyed? Did Ar-Rashid take it to the temple? He believed it was a lost masterwork of alchemy, and the notebook says he had part of the book telling how to make the Eye of Thoth, which will show when the stars are right. Again, the same phrase. The lens must be offered to the lightless sun. Did Imran take it to the temple to test it? Yes, so that is the correct course of action. Let me just save because there was that thing in the middle there. Jones 9. Bit scary. It's different enough. But yeah. I go. Uh-oh. What happens? I think I died. I am teacher and messenger. To those that seek bring wisdom and knowledge. You have sought knowledge, Jones, and I shall be my gift to you. You shall know what lies beyond. Come. Again? Oh my goodness, again? The book of the serpent staff is obviously a key part of the magic. If it were the hieroglyphic original, the book which governs the return of the stars, destroying the hieroglyphics will break the spell. Destroying the hieroglyphics? Even though this version is in Greek, the same tactic might work. What do you say? I told to you? But there was... So... If the Ifrit which killed Abdullah is magical, and a creature born of fire, it would be a fitting vengeance for its death if we turned it against them. But an Ifrit would kill us first if we released it, and might find it amusing to let the ceremony proceed. But what if I was wrong? I think this was a bug.
I wasn't supposed to see that scene, but going forward and see another scene. And it is a genie. They are wild and powerful, but not evil by nature, as the Ifriti are. Once it was trapped, it would not care it killed, and it might have thought we had to come taunt it. They are wary of humans. They are indeed. Oh man. So this is what happens. This is dangerous stuff around here. But creatures of their world, indeed. This is why it's a problem. And if we can make a bargain with it, it may help us. Of course, if I am wrong, and it is an Ifriti, we will die. We have no real choice. If you're wrong, we die. But if we do not try, the world dies. What's the expression? I don't remember. What's the expression? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Well, let us try our luck. Fantastic. Oh, Son of Fire, we offer you a bargain. Will you reveal yourself to us? No? Go to it. What bargain can the likes of you offer? One that you would do well to listen to. Threaten all you like. You cannot harm us while you are trapped in there. But we need your help. You can not help us either while you are caged. Why should I help those who did this to me? We did not did this to you. But we offered you the chance of revenge on those who did. And the chance to avert a great evil. We want you to go to the temple that is beyond this room. Destroy the scroll in the golden case. Ah, it's different. Obligatory the scroll. When it is brought there. What you do, then is up to you. If we release you, do we have our oath that you will do it? And not do us any harm? I care nothing for your good and evil, but I will have my revenge. I know the scroll of which you talk, and where it is kept. Another thing I know, for do not the genies dropped on heaven itself, you must kill the daughter of Serpents as well. For she knows the most secret name, and that is in no book. But I myself cannot do what you ask, for they have already overcome me and caged me here. But take that whistle that you have to the temple, and blow on it when the time is right. Then I will come, and bring my brethren, and they shall know our wrath. Now release me. What am I say to release him? Release you will be enough. I release you! Quick now. You must get to the temple before it is too late. Can I fucking save for once? No then. Jones 10. Alright. Then let's look at that. Let's see. Nothing new else here. Now pray that the genie keeps his word and blow the whistle. Different scene. Well done, Miss Jones. You have done it and lived to tell the tale. Although who'll believe us if we told them? We see her here this time around instead of the cop after doing the temple stuff instead of the back temple. The world will never know how close it came to the abyss.
But we do. Now all I have to do is persuade Cameron that they didn't kill Rashid. And I wonder what would have happened if we done things differently. Of course. Well, I got different scenes for all 3 cases, so I'm happy with that. I got even a different ending for all 3 cases. But there is nothing more I can do in variation stuff. I did all the variations of what I had here. So that is the end of this game. It is an interesting concept and I like the variations. I wish there was more point and click. It's just almost there. It needs just puzzles. One thing. Because everything else is great. It needs basically... For this... situation here, you see the different things. This is a master of none, you can see that. A bit of everything, but master of none. It needs to have a bit of everything. But yeah, it's almost there to be in a good game. But not quite. Not quite. Interesting, that's why I played all 3, because I played the second one and I saw a different thing. And the man they mentioned the Egyptologist as the most interesting one. But I think another character was more interesting. The most interesting character, which once we did the things, we went into the other realm. I think it was... not this. Prior. And Miss Estelle Prior. Yes, the Mystic. This is the most interesting character in the entire game. If you want to play one only character, you can play the Mystic. If you want to play 2 characters, you can play the Mystic and Egyptologist, aka Jones and Percy. The Private Eye is a bit bland. I have to admit, he is a bit bland. Is not much at all. No. The more I think about it, the less I come up with anything. So, interesting game. Certainly interesting game, but not quite what I seek. Not quite what I seek in gaming. So, I think I'm gonna have a BRB, it's very early, and we'll play something extra, okay? So, you just wait. Wait a second, actually. Let me do something so at least I don't forget. There we go. I will see you again in a few minutes, if you allow me. And I will give you something to listen to while you wait. Because why not? I have something that's appropriate for the end of this game. So, see you in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Coming right up.